Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryn, and today I am back with you and another speed build. And you guys, I am so excited for this build. I just got so inspired and had a blast making this build for you guys. I'd like to introduce to you the Succulent Sanctuary. That's right. This home looks like 2 potted succulent plants, and I love it. Honestly, out of all the builds that I've done, and I know, honestly, I've only done 2 technically, if you don't include my Disney Princess series, but out of the 2 that are not in that series, this has to be my favorite one. I don't know. The Charleston Charmer is quite adorable, and it took me a long time to do, and I am very proud of it, and I think it's gorgeous. But this one was just so much fun because it was so different, and I am so proud of it. So I hope y'all like it. And I've been waiting. I recorded this a couple days ago, and I just could not wait to share it with you guys. So I'm so happy y'all are finally getting your pretty eyeballs on it. And just to let you know, because again, I don't know who's watching, but I did do my due diligence in looking up to see if anybody else has done a build like this before. I could not find anything on the Sims 4 gallery, nor could I find anything on YouTube. So you guys, please, if somebody else has done a build like this, don't be mean. Just let me know, and that's fine. I didn't know. And if nobody else has done this build, well then I'm glad you can join me for some, you know, fresh Sim speed building here. But yeah, you guys, there are so many creators now out there, and I've just heard these stories about people getting angry at other people, you know, accusing them of stealing or copying or, you know, replicating somebody else's build or whatever. And guys, again, there's so many of us that it's really hard to keep track of every single build that is on YouTube and every single build that is in the Sims 4 gallery. So again, no, there's zero intention behind this build in copying somebody, promise. So if someone else exists out there with a build similar, just let me know. I'd love to check theirs out and give credit where it's due if somebody did indeed do something exactly like this. So I just wanted to get the disclaimer out of the way because of kind of the current climate of the YouTube Simmer world. So didn't mean to be all negative here, guys, but I just wanted to make sure I covered my bases here before anybody freaked out, you know, thinking I wasn't being considerate. So moving forward, I really wanted to keep the integrity of the potted succulent plant look. So we have, you know, very rounded homes. And then I'm learning as, you know, the more I build, I'm learning that you really should get your layout done first. And you really should get your outside structure done first before you go in and decorate. And I only say this because but by doing that, you set the parameters for where you can stick all of your items, your objects, your, like we're seeing right here, any decor or appliances or plumbing or comfort, you know, all that stuff. It just really helps give you those guidelines. And so that's, you know, why I started to build that way, and that's why the outside is pretty much done at this point at the very beginning. And so really, we'll just be watching me struggle to decorate. But it did come together, and essentially I went the route of, I guess you could say, I've finally decided that this looks like kind of a fixer-upper, kind of a decor route. And I don't mean fixer-upper as in it looks that the home itself looks like it's run down, but the show fixer-upper. If you guys have not seen the show fixer-upper, you should. With Chip and Joanne, they do such a great job, and this kind of style really reminded me of them, you know, with the wood on the wall, which she loved to do shiplap back in the day, and I'm pretty sure she does now. So that's kind of the thing. It's like this very inviting, comforting, chic kind of styled home. So that's that's the direction I went. And then a lot of you will know if you've watched my Disney Princess series and the Pastel Charleston Charmer build that I really like to go with color schemes. It just really helps focus my interior design with the Sims. And this time, well, at first you might have noticed, and if you didn't, that's okay, you'll see it at the end. But the outside of the build is orange green and then with an accent of blue. And so I was planning to go that route on the inside as well, incorporating orange, green, and blue, but it ended up, the blue itself just ended up being a real nuisance because it just didn't seem to really fit in with anything I was doing. So I nixed blue and ended up just decorating with green, orange, and then wood tones. So anything from a dark to a light wood, that's where my focus went. So I think that it came out really well, and I think that was a really good way to go. So yes, but right now, live here, you see me struggling hard with the decor in the bedroom. I had a hard time with the wall immediately behind the bed, with the wall directly to the right of the bed, and then with the wall immediately behind the dresser. For some reason, I could not figure out how to reconcile the designs around those walls, so it just drove me absolutely crazy. And I think eventually I just leave it. I'm like, I can't focus on this any longer. It's just too much. I couldn't find any solutions, and it was such a pain. So anyway, I end up moving on with build life here. And something I really found that helped in this build was, you just saw me put them in, was adding those extra kind of triangular walls. And that just helped define the space and also make it a little more cozy. And yeah, that was such a save, honestly. I was glad that I decided to put those in because I think it really helped, again, make this build a bit more homey and also solve some design problems with having so many angled walls. So I think it looked good. And let's see, I'm just putting in some more decor. Oh, and you guys, this is gonna make me sound like a complete and utter newbie, but whatever. It is what it is. But you guys, I finally discovered debug mode objects. I know, it took me a long time to find them and to finally implement them into any build of mine. And you'll see them pop around in some of the objects in a little while. I found it towards the end, so you'll see it then. Oh, in the dining room, I just wanted to point out, there's a little plant on the dining room table. I ended up taking that plant out and putting in a different centerpiece there because for all of my builds, I take a sim and I do a playthrough just to make sure that everything works. I don't want you guys to download this and have any major issues that, I can help avoid. I don't know if the plants my only question is if the plants on the top of this build will stay large if you guys download it. And I really hope that they do. I think one thing you could do before placing it is to move objects on. That's the only solution I can think of to, really make sure that they stay the same. But anyway, that's one thing. But yes, so I did a playthrough with my sim, and 1, centerpiece needed to go. 2, I did have some decanters of nectar down on one of the counters downstairs in the kitchen. And when she was cleaning up her food, she ended up cleaning those up and washing them, and they disappeared. So I decided, well, we probably shouldn't have those in this build at all. Because I would hate for you to have some objects there and then, you see them completely disappear. That would be tragic. So we're avoiding that here. Anyway, we are upstairs now in the living room / study area, and I had one heck of a time trying to figure out what couch and what chairs to put in here because nothing seemed to work at all. Honestly, I could have settled for something, but I'm a determined little simmer, and I said, no, this has to work and be to my liking. So eventually you'll see I just go, forget it, I am starting over. And the only thing I kept up there was the TV, and I revisited that whole area. This is where it happened, right there. I was like, forget it, that's not working, we're gonna start over. And I'm glad because I ended up putting more succulent plants and cacti around the house, which I thought, it's kind of like succulent inception, a succulent within a succulent. And I like to be kind of playful like that and ironic, I guess you can say. So they made an appearance over there. And then I did find a great couch and then one of the chairs from from the bowling stuff pack with the mid-century modern stuff, and the clock, which is also from that pack. Ugh, that pack is just delightful. I love it. Mostly for the decor. I have yet to really do anything bowling, minus building. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about my my birdie bowl and bar. Oh my gosh, you guys, I did build a bowling alley when that pack came out. So go check it out if you haven't. I really think it's beautiful, and I can't believe I forgot about it. I actually built it in Oasis Springs as well, so go give it a look if you feel like it. It should be in a playlist on my YouTube channel here. Anyway, figuring out some of the decor in here was a little tricky, but again, because there's so many angled walls, so you have just sort of these odd kind of spaces and places and nooks and crannies, so it took a little bit of playing around, but eventually it all came together. And I think we're gonna see, yep, this is the moment I found a bug. I'm like, ooh, pen, paper, package, books, magazines. I just went to town. There's the decanters that eventually leave, a little makeup palette for the bedroom. Oh my gosh, a little place, or like, well, what is it? A little joystick thing for the living room for the video game, and envelopes and this and that. Oh my gosh, I went a little nuts at first, and I apologize. I had no restraint, you guys. I had no restraint. I'm so sorry. But hopefully you see I did use some discretion, and I ended up, making sure that everything made sense. This little area was a little weird because, again, the weird angled walls, I didn't know what to do. Plus, it was a major walking area since it's immediately, like the immediate landing from the stairs. So I didn't want to crowd it up too much. And I think I just kept it fairly plain and just added a rug. Yep, I think that's what I did. And there I go doing it. Perfect. Let's see. Yep, I'm still choosing a rug. There it goes. And, oh, you guys, there are no windows. I don't know if I pointed that out yet. There are no windows in this build, again, because I wanted to keep the structural integrity of the potted succulent plants. I wanted them to look very convincing from the outside. So the only windows are on the first floor, and they face each other, and you cannot see them easily from a 360 viewing of the house. So that's all intentional. I was like, well, at least Sims would have a very tiny portal out to the real world. But again, I didn't want to disrupt the design of the outside of this house, because that was kind of the big main deal for me for this build, and I love it. Let's see, I started to add just some more plants. I finally reconciled the decor on the walls in the bedroom, which was so nice. I loved, for instance, this frame with the light bulbs on it, and I was like, I have to put it somewhere, and I eventually put it back in the bedroom, and it looks perfect above the dresser. I just love it. Yep, there it goes right now, and I don't even use the mirror. I was like, I don't need the mirror. It's perfect without it. So there it goes, and I think I get rid of the chair because it wasn't really fitting anywhere. Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, I remember I did not like that at all. Let's see. Oh, we're putting in, there's the makeup, a little compact. I did find a little lipstick, but I couldn't figure out where to put it, so I just got rid of it. Let's see, I added some rocks underneath the succulent plants because they are raised a little bit. I used the 0 key to raise them up so that they didn't stick through the half walls on the top. And then I put in some rocks to kind of fill in those spaces so that they didn't just look like they were floating there, but they, looked like they were growing there. So I really like how that turned out as well. And let's see, I ended up putting some lights, some outdoor lights on the tops of the roofs just to give them a little glow in the evening and at night. And I think I just think it looks good. It makes it more inviting at night. Otherwise it's just pitch black. So, all right. So I thought that I wanted to do some landscaping, and I wasn't sure how, because again, I really wanted this to be just 2 succulent potted plants. I know you guys are gonna get so sick of me saying that, but that's just the truth. And I, at one point, was like, well, why don't I look toward, and here's where I go to explore that idea. I was like, why don't we make it look like the 2 succulent plants are sitting in like a tray, like you would have succulent plants, a candle on a tray on your coffee table. Bad idea. It just looked really bad. And it just looked too plain. It just looked too overworked with that. So I got rid of all of that and just left, I just left the 2 potted plants on their own. And I thought, that's the right thing to do. So the only thing I did to make, you know, any walkway, as you see right now, I used the terrain paint tool, and I just did these stepping stone little dots all the way to the sidewalk. You'll eventually see that come to fruition here in a second. And it's subtle enough to not distract from the structure, but it's still like defining a walking area, which I felt was needed. So I was really pleased that that came together. Just adding a garbage can because I forgot. I wedged a mailbox in between the two homes because from the street I didn't want you to see the mailbox, and it is accessible. My sim tried it out. So I wanted to make sure that that was not an eyesore. And here's the end, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here is the final house. I really love it. There's a little dinosaur in the back. I just think this is such a cute shot. I love it. Here's a shot of the greenery on top of the home. I want you guys to get a good idea of that. And here's just an artistic shot that I wanted to include. I thought it was so pretty with the blue water. Here's the bedroom with all of the decor that I worked hard to get in there. That took a little while, sorry. The bathroom area, again, another shot of the bed from the dresser. And there's some more succulents you see, of course. I wanted to show you this angle because yes, there is a toilet, promise. Here we are in the main building with the stairs, the kitchen, and the dining room. And we will look at the stove, and I just love how that light colored wall texture and then with the darker wood paneling, it just all comes together. Here's another little area with the refrigerator. And as you see, that potted plant went away on the centerpiece, and I added this kind of deck of cards idea on there. Here's the entryway with some hooks and some decor, and of course the trash can, which is necessary. Going upstairs, there's my sim self playing some video games, looking across at the bookshelf, and then looking from the bookshelf towards the stair landing and the chest set, which we see right here. And I thought adding kind of mismatched chairs was a good little touch because it just makes it feel more homey. Here's me again playing some video games in my living room, and we're looking over at the study from the living room. And really this is a small space, so I'm just taking you through some different angles so you kind of get an idea of where everything is. Here's a little desk study area. You can barely see the pen. I'm so proud of that pen. And there's a package and some paper from Love to Bug. And here's the outside of the home. I wanted you to get an idea of what it looked like with that soft glow coming from the very tippy top of the house through the plants. And you guys, yes, this is where we end me playing more video games like I said. And you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're enjoying this channel, please subscribe. Guys, I've decided to call you the Ryn Kin family. Kin is in kindred spirit, kinfolk, my people. So please subscribe and become a part of the Ryn Kin family. You are all welcome here. You guys, you can find me on the Sims 4 Gallery, Twitch, and Twitter, all RynAsInWin. And guys, I hope to be streaming very, very soon. I'm going to be playing around with it, so look out for a schedule coming to you soon. Anyway, you guys, I love you so much. You're my Ryn Kin family, like I said, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!